I'll wait till it goes seven. Nothing else I'm consistent. I don't know these. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask that you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for Pastor Doyle to lead us in prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank you all for your devotion to the village, representing us. And it's also my 10th year as an American citizen. So I'm going to celebrate a festival and then the bicentennial. So let's join together in prayer. Thank you, Lord, for America, for the nation, and pray for your direction and guidance in all the decisions that are going to be made in the next few months. Thank you, too, for the festival coming up this weekend. Pray for safety, blessing, enjoyable time for all the families that are there. Thanks for our health, too, and pray generally for safety during the summer vacation for children, families, those traveling, medical, senior centers, safety for all emergency workers, especially remembering the police at this time. We pray for comfort and strength to every family that's suffering loss of loved ones at this season. We pray too for especially the safety of police, the family of William Butler, Hillsdale, and a major success to police in the prevention of crime. Pray for children, parents, families, and friends at the forthcoming vacation Bible schools and various churches, for them to come to know Christ and have their lives dramatically changed. Pray for wisdom for each person tonight, Lord, in the decisions and the planning that has to be made for forthcoming events in the village, especially as we look forward to the bicentennial at the end of the month. Let's take a time of personal silent prayer now for our families, for personal situations that we face and circumstances, neighbors and friends. So Lord, we bring these thoughts to you, our prayers to you for the police, for families, for all emergency workers, for children, for grandchildren, that this would be a really blessed and peaceful summer, with safety for everyone, families reuniting again. We ask this in the name of Jesus. Amen. And my personal prayer has been every time I pass the diner, the train, the railway carriage that we have the dinners on, I pray that there'll be enough paint to have that painted and looking really fancy. Yeah. Just a personal prayer. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. A wonderful summer. I left some little magazines for you here.
Thank you, Pastor Doyle. Thank you. I could ask. Roll call. Lisa, please.
James Dyson.
Present.
Nutra. Here. Bill Gritsmaker.
Here.
Mike Gunner.
Present.
Jerry Hayes. Eric Rogers.
Here.
Lucy Waters.
Present. Thank you. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting of June 24th, 2020.
Move to approve the minutes of June 24th, 2024 as presented.
I'll second that.
And Glenn, Lisa, you will.
Mike.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Gwen. Yes. Tim.
Yes.
James.
Yes. Thank you. In the second meeting from June 24th, 2024, the zoning board meetings.
Move to approve the zoning board of appeals minutes of the June 24, 2024 as presented.
Support. Eric, Bill, Lisa.
Gwen. Yes. Tim.
Yes.
James,
Yes, thank you. Danielle, do you have anything for presentations and communications?
I do not.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's fine. Is anybody from council? Okay, would someone like to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Bill, support by Tim, Lisa.
Eric,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
James,
Yes, thank you. I'll open the floor for public comment, items on the agenda, items not on the agenda. You just state your name for the record, yes, please.
Hello, my name is Chris Bertle, and I would like to provide information about the upcoming Schultz Homes District Library Millage proposal that you will see on your August 6th ballot. Thank you for allowing me a few minutes to speak. Currently, only the Village of Blissfield provides funds for the library. Village Council has made it clear that it cannot continue to fund the library at levels which would allow the library to continue to provide the services our community relies upon it for. Already, the cuts to funding have forced the library to cut services and purchase while depleting the library's savings account built over the decades to meet current expenses. A millage would provide stable funding for the library to restore cut services, maintain and expand beloved programming, and maintain and repair the building and grounds. The library board was tasked with finding new sources of funding to face further cuts. After significant research into how to provide a stable library for years to come, the board decided to establish a district library encompassing all portions of the Blissfield Community School District that is not serviced by another library. Establishing a district library, the Schultz Homes District Library, would allow the board to ask the townships it serves to provide a uniform source of funding, which is where we are now. On August 6th, the library board will ask you and your constituents to vote yes for a 10-year, 1.25 millage to provide a future for the library. Let me be clear, without a successful millage, the library will need to cut staff, services, and open hours. Given the other demands on the Village of Blissfield's budget, it is certainly possible that funding will drop so low that the library cannot sustain operations at all. The cost to the taxpayer is $1.25 for every 1,000 of taxable value. For example, for a home assessed at $150,000, the taxable value would be $75,000. And the yearly cost to build a solid foundation for the library would be $93.75. That equates to less than $2 per week, or a cost of a beer. Anyway, we believe that such an increase would be worth it, not only to keep the library's doors open and restore its savings, but to allow us to expand our programming and better serve our community. We hope you vote yes on August 6th. Thank you for your time and all you guys do for our community.
Thank you, Chris. Where do you get a yes pen? No, I'll run one down. I have a sign in my yard. I just like to know where I can get a pen.
Yeah, and we have signs too. Which
I have one in the yard already.
I vetted it. We all got the rest of some information or brochures that anybody here. Yeah, that's. Check us out.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I don't have a written statement. My statement is coming from my heart, okay? If we lose the library, it would be a crushing blow to our community. It makes it stronger, it's for the kids. Bottom line is, if you got your tax bill a couple weeks ago or whatever, I know I did. The millage 1.25 is the same amount we're paying for the pool. Same amount. And I voted for the pool. I love the pool. It's wonderful for Blissfield. The pool is 3 months out of the year. The library is 12. Simple. I also have a bunch of brochures and I do have some yard signs. Thank you, James already has one. Do you have one? Anybody else? But I have some in my car, so
Mine
I'd
is
like
in
to
the yard
put one in your yard,
Ed, is it Ed?
let me know.
The gentleman.
Huh?
Ben.
Ben,
Thank you, Ben Run, sign over.
okay, and I have some in my car, so please let me know. And also, you probably got some literature in the mail. If you didn't, we have the brochures that breaks down the little more. Not as simple as I did about the millage and how much it's gonna cost you, so, but that's your reference, so. And I have some refrigerator magnets and I also have, yes, pins in my car, James.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. I have one more thing. I looked over the bills that were paid for last month, and there was a huge amount in legal fees. Which made me think, is there an update or any information you can share about this lawsuit with LaSalle? Which I know that's good, but there were two other attorneys that were paid, law firms, that I don't know where they are. I know Clark Hill is the LaSalle attorney. And I know Stimson, but there were two other law firms. I have no idea who they are, but any update on LaSalle? Anything working or?
Yeah, if you wanna go ahead.
There's not an update that we can provide. Any communications that, or any information would have to be obtained through the courts, through the public filings. And there are some additional documents that can be found. They're not our record, so we can't provide them, but you can find them if you need the website or information where to find that. I can share that with
But
you.
things are progressing,
Yes.
or are we at a stalemate?
No, they are progressing.
Okay. Also, I do know, how many law firms are actually working
The
on
one
this?
Foster Swift is the library.
What?
I think it's Foster Swift is the library.
It's
Yes, and then there's 4 total law firms. Stimson is our regular attorney who we
Right.
do a majority of our work with. Clark Hill is only contracted to do work for the LaSalle litigation. We do as needed use Keller Toma for only personnel matters.
Okay.
And then the other one, I already, the Foster
For the
Swift
library.
is for the library.
Right, that's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
I'd just like to say to the library board members present, thank you for all your hard work getting to this point. And over the last couple of months or so, we really appreciate the communication and being kept in the loop and updated. So kudos, keep going, and get involved in the yes committee to the public if you're out there. And vote yes on August 6th. August 6th, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so moving on to unfinished business. Library Divisional Board Member. So council, in the past, we've asked a series of questions to each applicant and then taken a vote. And I would ask the council, is that what we want to continue doing? And I think we've had the 2 applicants are here, yes, one withdrew. So there's 2 left, Blair, correct, sorry, Blair Briggs and Asia Hoskins.
Are you there? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And then I think in the past we've had whoever was not responding, just step out, is that correct?
You cannot require them to, but we've asked if they're willing to do so, that they do, but we can't make them.
Sure.
And I think most people in the past have just had the courtesy of using the conference room to give the other one an opportunity to answer.
So council, do we want to retain that?
Oh, it's okay.
That, right? Okay. All right, Asia, Blair, does someone prefer to go first? Does someone, as a courtesy, would someone prefer to step aside?
That's better.
As long as you promise to be nice.
Okay.
Good job going first.
You're supposed to say.
Blair, do you want to stay or do you want to step out? It's up to you. It's up to you.
You're more than welcome to go to the conference room right around the corner there if you'd like.
Oh, we
And
can
then
do
one
that
of
too.
us can come get you.
I would better not.
Yeah, okay.
I just like to focus on one thing. Thank you.
All right. So there's 6 questions that have been narrowed down, but I think we should narrow this down further. All right. You guys have those questions in front of you? 1, 2, and 6. Does anybody have? Objections to those using those? Okay. Asia, ready? Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, please describe your previous work in the community and how these experiences qualify you for a position on the library.
Well, first I would like to say good afternoon, board members, everyone here, and if it pleases the board, may I provide you with my resume?
So. I have your written statement, but we don't have your resume. For sure. And we do have. Yep.
So I thought providing my resume would be a great introduction to a little bit more of who I am and what I do and everything like that. And I'm happy to answer the first question if you would kindly repeat it,
Sure.
Mr. Eisen.
Please describe your previous work in the community and how these experiences qualify you for a position on the library.
Okay, thank you. Well, as you all know, I am currently a fellow for the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and I am designated to focus on community development initiatives. And so through my 15 months here in the village, we have successfully become a certified redevelopment ready community. Of course, not by my hands alone, but with Danielle, Laura, Lisa, Brandon, and Maddie in the office. So but this is a goal and feat that we have accomplished. Also, I attend the library board meetings my second week here, moving in to the village. I got a library card and then wanted to attend the library board meetings, as well as when the Friends became active, I began to attend those meetings as well. Every third Tuesday of the month, as well as volunteer with the library and the DDA board. And of course, on my resume, I have experience overseas. So I just would like to invite you to look at the third experience that I have on the first page, listed April 2016 to August 2018, where I worked at the Task Force Against Inequality as a coordinator in Moscow, Russia. And I'm just asking you to look at that because my services there were in the community as far as counseling those that were immigrants that migrated to Russia from Uzbekistan, from Africa, different parts of Africa, and from the Russian Federation. And so I also liaised with different organizations to help find job placement for them and to also help them repatriate back into their community or integrate into the Russian Federation. So my experience in the community goes deep and goes way back, and now I'm living here in Blissfield, and I absolutely believe and think and know that my experience can be of benefit to your community.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can you give some examples of group decision-making you have been involved with and how those experiences could be utilized on the library?
All right, well, group decision-making would be, I'll ask you to look at the second experience that I've had as a HUD certified housing counselor. And this was in Pontiac, Michigan, in Oakland County. And so there we had the opportunity to teach members of the community how to be first-time home buyers and also how to prevent imminent default against their mortgages and being in foreclosure. So working as a group, we needed to facilitate different programs to educate people on first-time homebuyer ownership and also prevention of imminent default.
Thank you. And lastly, what 3 adjectives would you use to describe yourself?
And I do have a list of skills here on my resume, right? But just to list 3, I would say a researcher, I'm humorous, and I'm a lifetime student.
What was the second one, Misha?
Humorous. Ha, ha, ha. You get it, right? Okay, you got it, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Asia. Council? Any follow-up? And remember, any follow-up for Asia, we have to follow up with Blair as well.
What was the last one? Thank you. What was the last one?
Lifetime.
Lifetime student, thank you.
I was laughing so hard I forgot what you said.
I know, right?
Thank you, Asia.
Okay.
Would
Thank
you mind letting Blair in?
No.
Thank you.
Grab some water. May I step outside instead of staying with you?
Sure. Blair, do you need a minute or anything? Okay, so we decided on 3 questions and we're just gonna ask, and go ahead and present any way you like. So question 1, please describe your previous work in the community and how these experiences qualify you for a position on the library board.
Well, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm a bit on the younger side, as they say. So I can't say that I have a lot of experience, but I have been doing administration work since I was in college. And I've been on various types of councils since I was the president in 8th grade of the student council. So, and I continued that all through college. And now for my work, I'm usually over on this side of the council and of the boards. I am the executive assistant at Runaway Community Mental Health. So my main job is kind of keeping track of the board. I do all the agendas, all of the minutes. I'm really good with reading and interpreting policies. I can interpret the budget like nobody's business. I'm in charge of knowing all the Open Meetings Act laws, Robert's rules. I have a 5-page cheat sheet if anybody wants the link to it. So I do have a lot of experience in things of this nature. Boards, councils, I attend city commission, county commission. I've only recently moved to Blissfield in the last 10 months. I bought my home in August of 2022. I'm just over on Giles Street, so I'm right next door, basically. So I do a lot of volunteering in the Lenawee County area. Greg Adams, E-Racist Stigma, and Adrian. I participate in Day of Hope, which is in August, which is Overdose Awareness Day. I help with Community Action Agency, the Financial Stability Coalition, and I'm involved in a lot of different areas of kind of overall community involvement. And more on a personal note, I just love libraries a lot. And when you were talking about the millage earlier, that really did hit home for me. I've been following it on the news, but in my hometown, our millage failed to keep the library open. So we went from being open 5 days a week to 3 and cut the hours of the staff. So local libraries were really close to my heart, and I love reading. I read 125 books last year, and that's brag. And I've already finished the summer reading program for Blissfield. So I'm trying to win that prize.
Thank you. Where can you give some examples of group decision making you have been involved with and how those experiences can be utilized on the library?
Sure. So being a part of
Boards is the main part of my job, but the other main part of my job is being on committees, representing administration, representing the executive director, representing the chief operations officer. I'm on 11 committees at work, which is not, maybe this is not a lot comparatively, but group decision making has kind of been my everyday agenda. Formally, I call roll call in board meetings, so making a motion, seconding, supporting, seeking for additional feedback. I do that pretty regularly, and then informally, depending on who's facilitating the meeting, I like a stoplight approach. So when we propose to move forward with something or a goal or a mission for whatever committee, green lights is yes, everybody's on board, I'm 100% in, I'm going to participate. Yellow light is, I don't know, maybe I'm a little concerned, maybe I have more follow-up questions, and then red light is absolutely not, there's something ethically wrong with whatever we're trying to do, and we need to stop everything and we need to register it. We also do something we call a gut check. So we'll come up with an end goal and we say, how's everybody feeling about that? Does it meet our values as an organization? Does it meet your values personally? And if there's any concern with that, then we'll go back and we'll figure it out again.
Thank you. And lastly, what 3 adjectives would you use to describe yourself?
I'm sorry, 3 adjectives?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I would say thoughtful, ethical, and creative.
Say it one more time for us, please.
Thoughtful, ethical, and creative.
Sorry, they're laughing because I said it the same way last time. That's the Canadian in me.
You know, I think I misheard you and I got really worried.
Thank you, Blair. So
May I ask for one quick question, although I know I didn't ask, please, you want
we can ask for it for follow-up, but
okay.
please do.
Just how did you hear about this? I know Asia is here in the village and that's how I'm assuming you became aware of the situation, but how did you, as a new person coming into Blissfield?
Transplant, I like to call myself. So I originally heard about the library board position back in December, I believe there was an opening, and I had applied back then, and I think I was a little bit too late. So I did not get the opportunity then, but then I followed Blissfield on all of the social medias and the news, because I'm trying to be, now that I've settled, I'm trying to be more involved in the community. So I've been seeing on Facebook that there's an opening, I saw it, and I was like, gosh, this is perfect, like I'm a lot more settled now than I was back in December, I'm a lot more confident in my ability to do this. And then I did get a little nervous when I found out I had to come to a council meeting, but I did persevere, here I am, and I'm just very grateful that the opportunity arose at such a great time.
Thank you for answering.
Thank you. Someone let Asia back in. Asia's re-entering, are we doing golf sport here? Like I think last time we ranked them one the highest,
Yeah,
2.
so you guys did, just, I think use paper and did your rankings, and then I think you went with the highest rated person was who you made a motion for. You guys can do that again, just as a reminder, you have to put your name on the paper, because if requested by any members of the public, it has to be like public, how you guys ranked them, and then and that's kind of what guides you towards your vote. But if you want me to go run and grab blank papers, I can do that if that's what you're thinking again.
I like the consistency of it.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, let me grab some paper. Does everybody have pens? Okay.
So Asia comes back in.
Brandon went out the front door.
So put it off there.
Right now, we're gonna put all the way forward.
Asia, can you come back up to the podium, please, be able to follow?
Okay. And then you can go for
For you guys, again, name, and then you ranked like 2 would be your top, 1 would be your.
So that's what I was asking, for this golf score. All right, we'll decide afterwards.
And then I'd be more than happy to tally, or if you want Lisa to, or whatever is easier for you guys.
Yeah.
Asia, I had asked, Blair, this question. My guess is that you recognized the position was coming open because you're here in this facility. And what I had asked her is, how did she hear about the position open? So that same question needs to be addressed to you.
Yes, thank you for the question. Excuse the interruption. Of course, when I go outside, I like to walk around, I'm nervous and stuff, but yes, I'm back now. So I heard about it really from attending the library board meetings.
Okay.
So I attend as best I can on the second Tuesdays, and so that's when I heard about it.
Right.
I live outside.
Okay. I was kind of curious.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so just to refresh. It's gonna be highest score wins, so we're gonna assign a value of either 1 or 2.
So
So
you got both names.
both names and assign a value of 1 or 2 and the highest score wins, so your top pick would get an assignment of 2. And as we're tallying the votes, I'd just like to say thank you to both of you for applying, being here tonight, and encourage both of you to run in the election. When does library board get elected? Is that in the November election coming up?
It's the November election, yeah. Petitions are due August 13th. So that next.
All right. And welcome, Sierra.
Sorry, good progress.
It's okay. And I'd also like to say how well both of you represented yourselves. Very tough decision. I see both of you being an asset. So even if you're not elected, I'd encourage you to attend and get involved in this. I think you'd both be an excellent asset to the community library. And speaking to the library, I'd also like to say cultural center, Schultz Home Memorial and Cultural Center really should be on the podcast because it's more than a library. And I think a lot of people assume it's just books, but there's a lot more programming going on and there's a lot more cultural activity. And in fact, it might be the only hub of cultural activity in Blissfield. So I'd encourage you to, as you're becoming a district, maybe go through some rebranding as well. So that's a little bit out there, but thank you for hearing me out. All right, do we have a tally?
Yes,
And we have it.
Blair was the highest tally.
Congratulations, Blair. Do we need a motion?
Yes.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to, it's not black, but appoint, thank you, Blair Briggs to the library. Motion to appoint Blair Briggs to the library board.
I'll support.
Thank you, council. Go ahead, Lisa.
Eric,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
James,
Yes, thank you, and thank you to the 2 applicants again. Okay, new business. I'll take a motion to approve payroll.
Move to approve the payroll register for June 2024 in the amount of $148,865.96.
Support. Okay. Moved and supported. Eric and Tim. Go ahead, Lisa.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
James,
Yes, thank you. Accounts payable, make a motion.
Motion to approve accounts payable for the period of June 12, 2024, July 9, 2024.
amount of $395,724.61.
Second. Mike, that motion by Bills, second by Mike. Any questions on the bills? Nothing. Should I check with Jackie? No. Lisa?
Tim,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
James,
Yes, thank you. The farm to table,
I'll move to approve the resolution recommending approval of the special liquor license application for the farm to table event in downtown Blissfield on South Main Street on September the 5th of 2024.
Support that.
Gwen, thank you, Eric. Questions on this one, guys?
Yeah, I might do, just reading through, my only question is the LAR, I guess, stops at that point, right? When anytime we have a different event,
the social
the
district.
social district kind of stops. And I guess I understand the reasoning behind it, but wouldn't it make sense? I mean, if we're bringing these people into the downtown to utilize the stuff, we should sort of focus those events on utilizing those businesses. So why we bring them in, right? Because if we're closing off the social district to these other businesses that are actually selling the alcohol at the time or whatever, it sort of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do with the PPA, doesn't it? So if we would utilize whatever services they have, whatever they offer, you know, I think it would make more sense. Also, obviously, because it's more of an encompassed district happening, there's a district event where they're going in and out of the different stores. But for something where you're setting up a tent, setting up a table, then we're shutting that off to every other economic opportunity that they would normally have from every other visitor. And that to me is just a question behind it.
So I know that Laura's like not taste, what is it, the Yuletide event, cheer. She's not doing the special liquor license for that, we're just using the social district. And she's trying to do that whenever we can. But with this event, they include the drinks in the ticket, and in order to use the social district, they could not include them. And the people would have to go to those places to purchase them. So it changes the dynamic of the event because they charge a set price that includes the drinks and the meal itself. And that's how they offset the cost or the expenses of the event. I think they would have to change how that looks. I can make sure to let Laura know that that was brought up and see if that's something they can look at next year. I think at this point in their planning for this year, and based on what they budgeted and planned, we would need to move forward as we are right now.
I think that it would make sense if you're doing brunch and bingo, you pull a tent out of the social district or whatever, or the same with this farm to table. And then you're not killing the social district, you could also utilize the event and provide that.
I will bring that up to
This
her.
was a first Thursday event, right? Is this morphed then from a first Thursday into its own standalone?
Not yet.
It is still a first Thursday event. I think next year they will no longer be branded first Thursdays, and some of them are moving to different days of the week, just based on feedback and things that have happened. Like I know Touch a Truck's gonna be on Saturday. But yes, that is how it started out. This is the first Thursday event.
Okay.
It still qualifies within that year.
Right.
Yeah, we do have our October Harvest Fest, that's the first Thursday, but there's no alcohol or anything for that one coming up, and then I think that'll be the.
That should be the last one. Okay, yes, where's this one?
And I know it's give and take with all these events, because some like the street shut down, some don't, some businesses win, some businesses lose from all that sort of thing. So, but again, this seems like an easy fix to me, just pull it out of the social district. So
We need a vote. Lisa?
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
this time, yes.
Tim,
No.
Eric,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
James,
Yes. This is early. Resolution, special liquor license for Watson.
I move to approve the resolution recommending approval of the special liquor license application for the waffle event in downtown Blissfield on South Main Street on December the 13th, 2024.
Second.
Any questions on Wassel Fest? Lisa?
Eric,
Yes.
Tim,
No.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
James,
Yes, thank you. Brunch and bingo
Let's
during
take
Yuletide.
a trio here. Move to approve the resolution recommending approval of the special liquor license application for the brunch and bingo event during Yuletide in downtown Blissfield, South Main Street on November the 10th, 2024.
Support. Any questions about brunch and bingo?
Same feelings as before.
Yeah. Does that kill for the whole day?
just during the event.
Just during the event?
Correct.
So this is probably not a future. November 10th, I think the boss district is probably pretty slow during brunch. Hey, Lisa?
Tim,
No.
Eric,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
James,
Yes, thank you. Action item number 6, the approval of the MML Fund Trustee Election Voting Ballots.
the ballot is included in your packet. There's 3 candidates, there's 3 seats. You can always write somebody in if you wanted to, but it's up to you guys. They ask us to look at this every year, and I think every year they provide, it's the same number of candidates as there are open seats.
Move council to vote for 3 candidates to be appointed as MML trustee for 4-year terms beginning October 1st, 2024. And authorize the village administrator to submit the ballot on behalf of the governing body.
Support. Support. Anybody want to name written? I pass, thank you. Lisa?
Gwen,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
James,
Yes, thank you. And finally, approve a generator service contract.
Move to approve the planned maintenance agreement with Flow Energy Systems for annual maintenance, 2-hour load banking, $3,143 per year for a term or 3 years, of the term of 3 years, and authorize the village administrator to execute the agreement on behalf of the village private.
Second.
One thing I'll say is, Steve, gotta get your name updated. This is made out to Randy Rattan. Just let him know, you're the guy in charge now. Anybody have any questions? Steve's here tonight. I'm sure he'd be more than willing to answer this.
Obviously, Steve, you're on board with this,
Yes, I am.
and you'd like to elaborate upon.
Sure. Currently, say we actually had one of our service techs come out last Wednesday. What they do is they go through the entire generator. We're talking better than $100,000 investment that we have out there between that and then our transfer switches. It's a lot of it's chips and computers in there that is beyond our knowledge to be able to handle. They're with the service contract. They're at a drop of a hat, and they made that very clear. The service techs that we've had come out there have been very good. Spoke with one today, just trying to get different things set up. The way our generator runs right now, it doesn't run under load. You're supposed to run a generator under load that it's going to be acting on when it's running all the time. So currently, it's set up to when line power's on and switches over, it just runs and turns back off. We're having an issue with the kicking out breaker, so we've done some studies there just to make sure what needs to be done. There's there's adjustments in the breakers in there. And I also spoke to the gentleman today that said there's also means of being able to do pause starts on individual pumps and whatever, because what's happening right now is when it's flipping back from running on the plant back to line power, it's kicking up the breaker in the main building, which is kicking up the breaker, everything. So there are ways that, he educated, made perfectly good sense. He says you got, now all of a sudden you got two line power and then the plant power energizing at the same time basically, which is kicking out the breaker. So there's ways to, that it's built within our system that with this sort of thing that they can help us to remedy that, which will make this run a whole lot smoother. Anytime you have a generator, you should be running under load. The fact that it doesn't, you don't know when you need it, if it's actually going to do. This company comes out, they have services, they do the oil changes, they change fluids, they check all the components in there, they'll make recommendations. The load testing is vital, that'll pull that thing down to stressing it to the tops that your generator's gotta be there when you need it. So yes, I recommend this. Very good company. Initially, Transtar was the one who put our the electrical out of Toledo, which is Buckeye Power. Now you cross over that Michigan line, Kohler is this side, is Total Energy. Buckeye Power is that side. And then once the initial warranty was up on that portion, then you go with your service area rep that you have. There's not a whole lot of choice. It's either this one in your area or your opinion. And I don't know, that's something I don't know wing it when it comes to power outages. So yes, I do recommend it. I think they're a good company and I've had good experiences with them as well. So.
Thank you for attending, number one, and being available to answer the question and give a good explanation. Thank you.
Steve, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it only working once a month or they're testing it once a month? Or is that gonna change?
Ours exercises every once a week on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Once we get it set up, like I say, we had a study down for our UIS when they put in our SCADA system. And like I say, there's adjustments in the breakers. Normally when the breakers come with that, they'll have them adjusted to the lowest setting. So it's gonna kick out everything on minimal power. So there's adjustments that UIS can make in there to adjust those. Like I say, I found out additionally today that there are systems set up that we believe that are in our system that they can, he said, basically come in there with a laptop and set it to where one pump will come on, 10 seconds later, another one. So you're not pulling all that line power at once. And that was a nice thing to hear, right? I spoke with one of the higher ups there at
Well, they said it's where it'll run 10 minutes or 15 minutes of your load or what time.
It'll be, I'd like at least a half an hour or something. Yeah, I want to make sure the thing's gonna run. I'd rather have it go down or something happen to it. I don't need it. Versus when we need it, one of the places I worked for years ago, when the East Coast went out of power and they didn't run their generator, they said it blew black smoke and it just died. This was a huge plant. It was a big plant. So not good things happen. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Right, any other topics of discussion, questions? Lisa?
Tim,
Yes.
Ren? Yes, my apologies. Yes. Eric,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Jane?
Yes. Hey, my heart's gonna be here.
No, I didn't write it, I did write it down. I did write it down.
Before moving on to the reports, any questions on the reports? None. I'll open it up for council discussion.
Danielle, my understanding is in the month here of July, we, as council will be, having the opportunity to have the meters put into our homes. We have a rough idea of I'm assuming there'll be a phone call for that, make that appointment. Do you have an idea when that might be?
I do not, we're just waiting on those meters to come in, so as soon as I have a delivery date and we know when those are going to be installed, you guys will have advance notice. They did just email today and it sounds like the majority of our meters are not expected until August, so I'm not sure if they're gonna have to move back from July to August, for you guys as well, but I'll keep you posted as soon as I know more.
The council given opportunity to read through the engineering reports on the two buildings, one on Sugar Street and then the historical building. Yeah. Any need for discussion there? Danielle, did you have a conversation with the engineering firm about the Sugar Street building?
Yes, I did.
Did they share anything more?
They did not. I was going to place both of these on the next agenda for discussion. I don't know that necessarily either require action, but I thought it would be good to talk about just publicly and how you guys want to move forward with that, or if at all. Definitely the one we'll have to talk about budgets. I'm still waiting on a quote for the geotechnical for the depot. My conversation with the engineer on Sugar Street, I actually was with them when we went through that. And initially, when we were on the ground level, the structural engineer was pretty optimistic and was impressed with the condition of the building based on the age. However, when we went upstairs, he's like, everything I just told you, he's like, ignore it. There's major concerns up here that far pass anything positive on the lower level. So obviously then they put it in the report, their recommendation would be not to purchase it, unless we wanted to spend more time and money determining what the cost would be to fix it, but they felt that if we went down that road, we were gonna spend some time and money doing that, just to find out it's probably outside of what we're wanting or able to pay.
Do we want to have discussion now, or do we want to wait for the next agenda? I'll be either way. I think it was a worthy project to explore, but I don't really see anything to move on. I think that's the case. You know, input.
I agree. And that would be my recommendation. I think that it was worth investigating, but I don't think would be the best option for us.
And then the historic depot, we know that needs money. But it sounds like it needs to be moved before everybody gets money.
Yeah, I think really our next course of action is going to be getting that geotechnical to make sure, because that's gonna tell us the ground quality around there. To see if it is further impacting that foundation and what the most cost-effective way to move forward is. So I will share that with you guys as soon as I get it. I'm hoping it's not too much. We have some money in the budget this year for engineering, because we knew we needed to look at that structurally. So I'm hoping it will be within budget, and then that'll give us a better idea how to move forward.
Okay. Do you know what, does anybody on council know what any other parcels on Sugar Street for sale? Did Pat sell those buildings? Are still on the market?
The one building closest to the driveway that goes back in farther, that has been sold.
Okay, that's the older of the two.
Correct. The other one, I'm not sure. Do you want some?
I believe that one's been sold, but I'd have to double check that. I don't believe so.
Might be worth investigating them. All right, any other council discussion? Bill, Tim? Mike, there,
Yeah, the sure the pool on Mondays being closed, is it worth it for us to be closed for these parties, or would it be more beneficial or effective for the community to just be for?
I don't know. I think it depends who you ask. We book out, so we use the Mondays for trainings with our staff, which have been hugely successful, and our staff wants to have trainings. And then we do book out several parties Last year, we booked 16 parties. This year, I don't know the exact number, but I know we have several. We have limited availability left, so they are very popular.
How many do we usually have a day, you know, on average, or?
Well, we closed Mondays because we were not getting anybody on Monday. Well, I shouldn't say anybody. We'd have maybe 20 people the whole day. I can pull those numbers again. I obviously don't know what it is now because we've not been open Mondays now. This is our second.
We're not getting
Third
complaints or
year.
anything now that.
We do get maybe 2 or 3, but a majority of mostly no. And we did look at what other pools are open. Recently, we did get a complaint about it. And the only other pool that's open more hours than us is Sylvania. Their fees are also, I believe, quite a bit higher than ours. But we're open more than Tecumseh, Bone Pool.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, either way, I think somebody won't like it. I think for the staff and for the private parties, we've had really great feedback having it set up that way, so that's why I kept it that way.
Speaking as a parent of a child who is always at the pool, it's nice to have a kid off.
Sam is our pool mascot, so.
Well, the pool numbers have definitely in your summary, you stated before, that the numbers have increased.
Yes.
Significantly, in my opinion. So I don't. But we get or Mondays on Friday. Something I wanted, something I'd like to say is not necessarily council discussion, but something I want to state to you, Danielle, and I apologize. I didn't have it written down. It was the first notes that you had going out to the public. The information to the public.
The newsletter.
Yes, I wanted to say nice job on that. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, is that a public comment? Council discussions. All right, I will reopen public comment, items on the agenda, items not on the agenda. I will take a motion to adjourn.
No, community meeting, now, correct?
Correct, I do not.
So yeah, we're not back until July 22nd. Motion to adjourn at 7:57. Support. Bill with motion and Kim following up. Lisa.
Mike,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
James.
Yes, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.